All right, guys, for whatever reason, my video decided to just quit on me, so I'm going to try to rush through this as fast as I possibly can and get this done. So we stopped at almost at the end of question 2. Again, if I divide by 7 on both sides, it's going to be x squared equals 4. And at this point, again, I would just take the square root of 4, the square root of both sides. And again, I want to remind you that this would have 2 answers. So it would be positive and negative 2. Or another way we could write that is 2 and negative 2, right? So either way that those are written would be the correct answer. So let's move on to number 3. Again, I've got x minus 5 squared equals 64. So again, my goal is still the same. I'm trying to isolate the x, but the problem is I've got this whole quantity here that is being squared. And you might think, well, how in the world am I going to attack this? How am I going to undo something that's squared? The same way that you undo this squared that was over here, right? So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Remember, it's only going to leave me with what is inside, okay? So all I'm going to be left with is this portion right here, which is x minus 5. Now, on this side, I've got the square root of 64, so I've got to think about how many different answers do I have for the square root of 64? What times itself will equal 64? Well, it is, in fact, positive and negative 8, okay? So don't think that right here that you're done, because you're not, okay? You still need to isolate this x by itself. So in order to do that, I need to add a positive 5 to both sides, which gives me, that cancels out, and x will equal 5 plus or minus 8, okay? And again, you may be tempted to say, well, I'm done. That's my answer. But there is still mathematical operations that can be done. For example, this is the same as saying 5 plus 8 and 5 minus 8, okay? So we could do those two calculations. So 5 plus 8 equals 13, and 5 minus 8 equals negative 3. So our two answers that we get for this particular problem would be 13 and negative 3. And again, we could substitute those back in up here at the top, and they should come up with the square, or come up with 64. So if I take 13 minus 5, that equals 8. 8 squared is, in fact, 64. If I take negative 3 minus 5, that's negative 8, but negative 8 squared still equals 64. So you can see how it still gives you the correct answer. So really quickly, let's go to number 4. And again, I want you to just notice here that it's exactly the same type problem. I just have to work the same things that I do when I'm solving any types of equations. So first thing I'm going to do is put my line down through the equal sign. I'm going to go ahead and add 4 to both sides, because that gets it away from this term that I'm trying to isolate. So it leaves me with 2 times x plus 3 squared. This would cancel, and it's going to equal 200. Now, again, I asked myself, well, what did I do last time when I had a number right beside of these other things? Well, it's multiplication, so I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides, which gives me x plus 3 squared equals 100. And now I'm right back to the same type problem that I had just a few minutes ago, where that I have a term that is squared. So I need to take the square root, which would give me x plus 3 equals plus or minus 10. And from here, I do the same work that I did on the exact last problem, okay? So again, you kind of see how each one builds upon the other. And hopefully this has been helpful to you. If you've been paying attention, you've already got a couple of answers that are actually on your practice. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, make sure to reach out to either me or Miss Willer, and we'd be glad to help you. Thanks.